We often think of India's independence as this one straight line on a timeline, but really, it's so much more than that. Today, we're going to dive into the stories of the incredible people who made it happen. We'll see how completely different ideas, like nonviolent resistance versus radical revolution, clashed and coexisted. And we'll meet the pioneers who carved out totally new paths. These are the people who didn't just win freedom, they built a nation. So, that leads to this huge question, right? How is a nation's freedom actually won? Is it through peaceful marches? Is it through armed struggle, backroom political deals? Or is there another way? And here's the thing. The answer is, well, all of it. India's freedom wasn't the brainchild of just one person or one single idea. Think of it more like this incredible, complex tapestry woven together with totally different philosophies, different strategies, but all from people with this one unwavering goal in mind. Okay, so let's start with the strategy that pretty much everyone around the world has heard of, the path of nonviolence. This was a movement built entirely on moral strength and getting huge numbers of people involved in civil disobedience. For its time, that idea was absolutely revolutionary. And at the very core of this whole strategy was this one powerful concept, satyagraha. Now, don't mistake this for passive resistance. It wasn't passive at all. This was an active, incredibly powerful philosophy that Mahatma Gandhi brought to the forefront. The whole idea was to face injustice head-on, not with fists, but with this unshakable commitment to truth. The goal? To force the other side to have a moral reckoning. So, who were the key players driving this? Well, you can think of it as a trinity of leadership. Of course, you have Mahatma Gandhi, the spiritual heart of the movement, the one who could mobilize millions for something like the Salt March. Then you've got Jawaharlal Nehru, the political mastermind, who really framed the ultimate goal with the declaration of Purna Swaraj, complete self-rule. And rounding them out is Sardar Patel, the Iron Man of India, the ultimate organizer who could take these big ideas and make them happen on the ground. These three, they were the engine of the nonviolent strategy. But, and this is a big but, not everyone was convinced that nonviolence was the only answer, or even that it would be enough. And this brings us to a totally different school of thought, a much more confrontational one. This was the call for direct action, and yeah, if it came down to it, forceful action, to literally seize freedom. And if you want to understand the spirit of this revolutionary side, you just have to hear this one quote from Bal Gangadhar Tilak. "Swaraj is my birthright, and I shall have it." Listen to that. There's zero negotiation in that sentence. It is a bold, completely uncompromising declaration. This isn't asking for freedom. It's demanding what they believed was already theirs. And this demand came from so many different, powerful figures. You had Subhash Chandra Bose, Netaji, who took a very practical, almost military approach. He literally went abroad to raise an army to fight the British. Then you have Bhagat Singh, who used these dramatic, symbolic acts, like bombing the assembly, to make a statement and shake the empire to its core. And Chandrasekhar Azad, who was out there organizing revolutionaries, living by his vow to never be captured alive. See the pattern? For them, freedom wasn't a gift to be given. It was something you had to take. Okay, so we have these two big camps, nonviolence and revolution. But the story doesn't stop there. Not even close. There were so many others who were forging completely new paths, breaking down social barriers, and finding brand new ways to challenge the empire. These were the true pioneers. And just look at the women who led the charge. We're talking about people like Rani Lakshmibai, a literal warrior queen leading troops on the battlefield way back in the 1857 revolt. Fast forward a few decades, and you have Sarojini Naidu and Annie Besant smashing through political glass ceilings, both becoming president of the Indian National Congress. And how about Madame Bikaji Kama? She took the fight global, unfurling one of the first versions of the Indian flag on foreign soil. What they all proved, without a doubt, is that leadership has absolutely no gender. And the battle wasn't just fought with protests and weapons. It was also fought with books, data, and pure intellect. Take Dadabhai Naoroji, known as the Grand Old Man of India. He came up with something called the drain of wealth theory. He basically did the math, meticulously showing how British policies were set up to systematically suck India's economy dry. Suddenly, the fight wasn't just about political freedom anymore. It was a crystal clear case against economic exploitation. This gave the movement an incredibly powerful argument that everyone could get behind. So, winning independence, that's one massive achievement. But then comes the next question. What now? How do you build a single, modern nation from the pieces left behind by colonial rule? This was a whole new challenge, and it called for a totally different kind of hero, the nation builder.
Take a look at this number, 560 plus. What on earth is that? Well, that's the staggering number of separate, independent princely states that existed inside India the moment it became free. The job of bringing them all together fell to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and through just sheer force of will and incredible diplomacy, he managed to integrate all 560 plus of them into the Indian Union. He literally stopped the country from shattering into hundreds of little pieces. It was an absolutely monumental feat.
So, if you think of Patel as the one who built the physical body of modern India, then Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he's the one who built its soul. As the head of the Constitution's drafting committee, he was the chief architect of the document that guaranteed justice, liberty, and equality for all. And his relentless, lifelong fight for the rights of the most oppressed groups, particularly the Dalits, really became the moral compass for this new nation. He made sure that freedom truly meant freedom for everyone. So when you look back, it's clear this wasn't one fight. It was a fight on so many fronts, waged by people with totally different playbooks: the strategists, the revolutionaries, the pioneers, the architects. They did their part. Their fight is over. But their legacy? That's still very much alive. And it leaves us with one last big question. What does all their sacrifice, their vision, their incredible courage, what does it ask of us today?